ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
San Diego County is on the brink of having to shut down indoor dining, gyms, and movie theaters once again. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. The county's COVID-19 case rate is turning back in the wrong direction. Right now, the case rate per 100,000 residents is 7.9, which is above the limit of 7. If that number holds until next Tuesday, the county will fall back to the state's lowest and most restrictive purple tier. At that level, indoor retail can stay open, but only at 25% capacity. Barbershops and hair salons can continue operating inside, but churches must move back outside.
San Diego State has a new plan to stop the spread of COVID-19. The university plans to test all students living on campus starting tomorrow. This after SDSU reported over 600 total cases this week. ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura spoke with a student living on campus, and she has mixed feelings about this plan.
I spoke with a freshman living on campus. She says on one hand, she's glad that the university is taking COVID-19 seriously, but she's also worried about what could happen if the testing finds a lot more positive cases.
I think everyone can agree that this whole year is disappointing and frustrating.
Lauren Constantine is a freshman living on campus at San Diego State University. The pandemic has impacted life as an Aztec. On Tuesday, she says she was tested for COVID-19.
I had to get tested because I came in contact with someone whose roommate tested positive.
Even if she didn't get tested, she would soon be required to. Under its new COVID-19 surveillance plan, San Diego State University is requiring the roughly 2,400 students living on campus to get tested for coronavirus.
Everyone got an email about it.
On Tuesday, university officials detailed their new plan in a news conference, saying testing students will start Wednesday.
There is a very narrowly tailored set of reasons and exceptions, but the vast majority of our students, we expect that they will be participating in this program.
After the initial phase, the university hopes to get a better idea of how widespread the virus is among students, as well as identify any hotspots. The second phase of the plan involves random and routine testing. Lauren hopes the plan will curb the spread of the virus because she's worried what will happen to the school year if cases keep climbing.
I live in Pennsylvania, and that would be a hassle to have to pack up my stuff and leave.
But she's also worried about what the testing might reveal about the university.
I also think that it could kind of turn out bad if everyone tests positive, or a large percentage, more than they expect, to test positive. Then I don't know how they're going to go about quarantining.
University officials say 60 to 75% of their positive cases involve students living off campus. However, they felt this was a necessary step to take to slow the spread of COVID-19. Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
And as San Diego County risks dropping into the state's most restrictive reopening tier, one county supervisor wants to ditch the tier system entirely. County Board Supervisor Jim Desmond made a motion today that all county businesses except bars should be allowed to reopen at their own risk and ignore state-issued orders. Dozens of small businesses called in to today's board meeting in support of that motion.
My wish is that the governor, with his ever-changing criteria, would give us and you local control.
Ultimately, that motion failed to move forward. Some businesses said that they plan to reopen regardless of what the county does.
The federal prison in downtown San Diego has the second highest number of COVID cases among inmates in the country. The Metropolitan Correctional Center says it currently has 177 active cases of COVID in inmates, 9 in employees. The MCC says that so far, more than 180 inmates and 4 staff members have recovered from the virus.
And here are the latest numbers. The county reported 294 new cases today. That brings our total to 43,000. There were also 9 new deaths, bringing that total to 742.
And our local coronavirus outbreaks are concentrated in areas known for their nightlife. A KPBS investigation found the zip code that includes the Gas Lamp, Little Italy, and East Village accounts for the highest number of outbreaks. Data through late July shows 14 outbreaks in 92101.
It would make sense with all the employees that are working down here and all the different establishments that our number would be higher than, say, Del Mar or La Jolla or other places.
Overall, more than a third of the county's outbreaks happened at businesses in just 4 zip codes. There were 11 outbreaks in 92109, which includes Pacific and Mission Beach. The other 2 were in the South Bay, in large part at manufacturing and food processing facilities. An outbreak is defined as 3 or more cases that can be traced back to one location.
This placement recommendation is irresponsible. It subjects our community to harm, and it has to be withdrawn.
A sexually violent predator from Northern California could soon be released here in San Diego County. District Attorney Summer Stephan, who you saw there, says it's the first time something like this has happened. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo spoke to the DA about her fight to stop this.
The DA tells me as soon as she found out about the placement recommendation, she sent a letter asking for it to be withdrawn. This is Joshua Cooley, a sexually violent predator from Northern California, convicted of sexual battery and lewd acts with a child under 14. His victims were 12 years old. Now the Department of State Hospitals is recommending he be placed in the North County in Palma Valley.
I think this is really reckless and irresponsible, and we're just not going to put up with it.
It will be up to a judge in Humboldt County to make the decision. District Attorney Summer Stephan says this would be the first time a sexually violent predator from another county is placed in San Diego. By law, someone could be placed out of county under extraordinary circumstances.
They have not given us any reason why extraordinary circumstances have been found.
In a 3-page letter, Stephan points out the recommended location in Palma Valley is the same location where a judge denied the placement of another sexually violent predator, Joseph Bachlet, in July of this year.
This placement recommendation is irresponsible. It subjects our community to harm, and it has to be withdrawn.
According to the ABC station in Northern California, Cooley has been denied placement in at least 4 different areas throughout Humboldt and Tehama counties.
We need to really make sure that our voices are heard and that it's not done in a silent and a hidden manner.
We did reach out to the Department of State Hospitals for comment, and they referred us to their website for sex offender commitment program, saying, quote, the court makes the final decision on their conditional release, including location, terms, and conditions. Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
That hearing is scheduled for October the 9th, and the community has until September 23rd to submit their public comment. You can find a link on how to do that at our website, 10news.com.
Happening right now, Hurricane Sally has strengthened to a Category 2 storm. It's already slamming Alabama and the Florida Panhandle as it inches closer to making landfall. That could happen tonight or sometime tomorrow morning. These areas are getting hit with rain and 100-mile-per-hour winds. Let's bring in meteorologist Angelica Campos, who is tracking this hurricane. Angelica.
Hi, Kim. I want to show you what it's doing, and it has intensified, and the eye of the hurricane has also become well defined. You can see it's pretty big in our satellite and radar. I'm going to zoom in closer to the eye so you guys can see where this is headed. Believe it or not, it's still about 65 miles south-southeast of Mobile, Alabama, which it looks like it's a lot closer than that, but this system is moving so slow that it's still pretty far away. Category 2, winds of 105 miles per hour, moving north-northeast at 2 miles per hour. Heavy rain expected between 10-20 inches with up to 30 inches. Life-threatening flooding is expected, and it will be impacting from the Panhandle of Florida, Alabama, towards Atlanta through the end of the week. It won't be until Thursday before it moves out of Alabama, so it's going to be so slow moving, creating problems in the same locations for at least a day or longer.
Angelica, thank you. Tonight, President Trump answered questions directly from undecided voters in an ABC News 2020 town hall called The President and the People. As ABC's Alex Perche reports, the president addressed his response to the coronavirus pandemic, health care, and racial unrest across the country.
Welcome to our town hall. President Trump in Philadelphia tonight, taking questions from uncommitted voters as part of the 2020 special, The President and the People, with ABC chief anchor George Stephanopoulos. The first topic, the coronavirus.
I wanted to always play it down.
In those recorded interviews with journalist Bob Woodward, released to CNN, President Trump admitted to downplaying the COVID threat.
Well, I didn't downplay it. I actually, in many ways, I upplayed it in terms of action. My action was very strong.
His rival, former Vice President Joe Biden, saying otherwise during a roundtable with veterans today in the battleground state of Florida.
The reason why the COVID crisis has been so bad, he is focused only on making sure the stock market stays up.
ABC News offered to host a similar town hall with Biden. The network and the campaign could not find a mutually agreeable date. During tonight's special, President Trump was also pressed on health care.
I interviewed you in June of last year. You said the health care plan would come in 2 weeks. You told Chris Wallace that this summer it would come in 3 weeks. You promised an executive order on pre-existing.
I have it already.
But it's
though he would not commit to when that plan would be unveiled. And in the wake of police killings of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and the shooting of Jacob Blake, President facing questions about race and police reform.
Do you feel racial injustices are occurring in this nation?
Well, I think they were tragic events. If you look at our police, they do a phenomenal job. You'll have people choke, make mistakes. If you're going to stop crime, we have to give the respect back to the police that they deserve.
But you have yet to address and acknowledge that there's been a race problem in America.
So if you go, well, I hope there's not a race problem. I can tell you there's none with me.
Near the end of the night, the president was asked about his critics who have said that his behavior is not presidential. President Trump saying that he's fighting a lot of forces, adding that sometimes you don't have time to be totally, as you would say, presidential. Joe Biden has a similar style event on another network on Thursday. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.